Hi and welcome to Mumazing Gaming. I'm Amazing, and as you know me, I'm a Roblox YouTuber, and as a Roblox YouTuber I like to make videos, and to do that I need to actually, use some pretty good software to do that, and I'm using the free Hitfilm Express 14. It's really powerful, it's free, it's good enough for anyone who's just starting out who wants to make YouTube videos. So if you do enjoy this video, throw a like on this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to teach you how to use this in a really basic way by editing my latest Saber Simulator video. So we're going to get right into it. The first thing I want to show you is that we've got these four main areas on this first page here. We've got a trimmer, we've got a viewer with an export panel. Down the bottom, we've got media, effects, controls, history, and text. Don't worry too much about that right now. And then we've got an editor timeline, which is the one on the bottom right. So let's first go down to the bottom here, and you'll see that I am hovering over the import button. So I'm just going to go and import my Roblox intro. Here it is. And I'm just going to drag it straight over to the video timeline like that. And then I'm going to click on the video one next to it on the editor panel, right click and insert track. And what that's going to do is put a second video layer on top of my intro. Then I'm going to go down to the audio and put a insert track, and that's going to put a second audio track underneath everything. The reason why I do that is because the top video one is for like my green screen effects, like my like and subscribe button. And the audio 2 track is for the music that I put into the video as well. So now that we've got that done, I can now import my first file, which is my gameplay file. And for that, I have that hidden in my Subnautica folder. Gosh knows why. So this is all the stuff I've been editing lately. This one here on the top is basically what I'm recording right now. So, and that was a fail because I don't know what I did there. Anyway, let's go to the video I want to do, which is this one right here. This is my first of my Saber Simulator ones, and it's going to open up in the trimmer. Now, there's two ways I can do this. I can press play here. Hi, and welcome back to Mumazing Gaming. Right, so you heard that. It was pretty loud because for some reason it doesn't have this auto volume. It's just super loud volume. But what you can do here is down left hand side of that panel, you will see that there is a in, which has an arrow going towards the right, and an out, which has an arrow going towards the right and into a box. So you can set your in and out point. So I can scroll all the way through this, and then I can set where I want to start it and where I want to end it. Then I can either just use the video or the audio or both. If I use both, I can just drag the whole thing down into my timeline like that. But if I just want to use the video, I just drag the video and line it up like that. Or if I just want to use the audio, I can drag just the audio and drag it into the audio timeline just like that. But I'm not going to do any of that right now. This is probably better for smaller things, like just little segments that I record separately that I want to start an in point and create an out point and just drag that straight in pre-cut. And it doesn't affect your video. Just by using the trimmer, it doesn't affect your video at all. But what I'm going to do is take that imported file that's on the left there, you can see it under the import button, I'm going to drag the whole thing over to my timeline. There we go. I've dragged the whole thing over, and you can see that there is the video and the audio for that. So if I press the space bar, it plays very loudly. And if I hit the space bar again, it stops at the point where the timeline is kind of building up. And then what I want to do is see how I created a second audio track down here in the editor panel right here. I want to add some music at that point. So you can see this here is my talking audio file, and then I want to put some music underneath it. So I'm going to go to the media tab again, press import, and I'm going to go to my music folder. And then here's all of my music. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here, but the one that I always use is Retrovision Cake by NCS. And then I'm just going to drag that audio file straight against the blue line of where I've stopped it. And then I am going to hover over that line. Now this is your volume line. In the video panel, this is your brightness line, how bright your video comes through. But down here in the audio, this is your audio line. I'm going to drop it a little bit because it might be a tiny bit loud. And I'm going to take it back a tiny bit, just like that, and press play and see how it sounds. Too loud. Already too loud. So I'm going to bring it down a bit more. Go back. Hi, and welcome back to Mumazing Gaming. Okay, and that is still too loud, so I'm going to drop it a tiny bit more. Because once it builds into it, it's actually quite loud further along. So it's about balance. Hi, and welcome back to Mumazing Gaming. I'm Amazing. Okay, that's pretty good. But there is one other problem. You'll notice when I press play, you can see the meters tab on the far right. And you'll notice it's peaking above the decibel rating of 0. Let's watch. And I'm in Saber Simulator for the brand new update. It is a little loud. So I want to bring it down the volume of my audio a tiny bit as well. Overall, just a tiny bit. It really is such a tiny adjustment. Let's going to press play again. Hi, and welcome back to Mumazing Gaming. That's a lot better. But what happens when we get to the really loud part of the music over here? I want to bring it over and see if the two are balanced or if I need to bring the music down any further. Let's have a listen. They won't be here forever. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Yeah, it feels a little loud still. So I'm going to bring the volume down a tiny bit more. There we go. And the next thing I'm going to teach you is how to cut. So you notice that right here at the front of my video, there's nothing going on for like a few seconds. That is called dead air. When there is nothing going on in your video, that is dead air. I want to get rid of some of that. I want a little bit of it, but not much. So I'm going to take it back about to here, and I'm going to create my first cut. The first cut determines what I keep and what I don't. So I've lined it up to where I think I want to trim it. And then I want to go back over to this editor panel here, and you'll notice there is an arrow. That's for selection. The drag tool. Then you've got the slice tool, and then you've got the slip tool, a slice tool, a ripple edit tool, a roll edit tool, and another tool down here. But don't worry about that. The one we want to get is the one that looks a bit like a band-aid right here. This is the slice tool. So that is represented by the letter C. And automatically I have to press the letter C, and it basically is going to allow me to cut. You can see like this line on my little cursor where it looks like a little band-aid. It's actually just not a band-aid. It's like one of those little blades, razor blade things. So it's to cut. So I'm just going to put it on there until the line goes red and click once, and I've created a cut. And now what I want to do is remove this bit in front of that cut between my intro and the rest of it. So I need to go back up here to the selection tool. So you can do that just by hotkey V, and it'll take you back to your selection tool. Then you can click anywhere on this area and highlight it. As you can see, I've highlighted it. Now you can do this one thing where you can right click and go ripple delete object. Or you can press Alt and Delete at the same time. So make sure you have the right thing selected, and I'm going to hit Alt and Delete. Actually, if you use the Alt on the right hand side of your keyboard and Delete, it's a lot easier because you can't stretch from your left Alt to the Delete key. Otherwise you can right click and then press Ripple Delete Object. And what that'll do is delete the object and push everything back against the bit you trimmed. So it's all lined up. So let's play it again a little bit from that point and see how everything lines up. Hi, and welcome back to Mumazing Gaming. I'm Amazing, and I'm in Saber Simulator for the brand new update. Of course, it is the part 2 of the Valentine's update. And in this one, we've got 2 new islands, 2 new classes, 2 new eggs, a 2x heart event, which means running around the map you'll be able to collect double hearts, and a 5x heart sale as well, which increases the amount that we get from the hearts. It's insane. Also, there is new DNA. Okay, I actually got quite a way through that before I came to my first little thing that I want to edit, and that was me going okay. So the ums and the ahs are things that I like to kind of cut out of there, get rid of. I don't necessarily need them in there, so I am going to take it back a tiny bit to about here. I think the R is just after this point, but look, you can see the editor timeline of the audio is all bunched together and I can't really see exactly where the R is. So to make sure I get the exact point in and out of that area, I need to hold the control button down. So I've got like a cursor across. Then I need to scroll in with my mouse till I can really see the audio file of my timeline. I take it back a little bit, saying, there we go. There is the R. So I'm going to cut the R out just like I did before. So press C to create the cut and click once. Then scroll over. And then press cut again. Then right click so it's highlighted. And you can either ripple delete gap, just like that, or press Alt delete on it. But make sure you have it highlighted. Now if I take it back, saying, also there is new DNAs, they've expanded. So that has taken out the R's and the ums and the boring bits. Next, and this is good for YouTubers as well because you don't want to have any boring bits in your videos. So to get rid of them, that is basically what you're going to have to do. Next thing I'm going to do is zoom out again because I've zoomed so far into my timeline that I now can't preempt what is coming or if there's gaps or there's other things happening. So hold the control button down again and zoom out a little bit with your mouse on your scroll wheel. And that's probably good about here. That way you can see all the breaks. You can see all of the gaps where nothing is happening and you can trim those gaps out. So let's press play again. We'll take it back before the cut a little bit. It's insane. Also there is new DNAs, they've expanded a new saber called the Edge. Limited time Valentine's pets, they won't be here forever. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And up to 11 boss hits per swing. And unlike other times, we're actually going to go do that first. So let's head over to the skills all the way down. Okay, so I headed to the skills. This was my little mistake. I wanted to go to the boss hits, not the skills. So I'm going to play through forward and see if it makes sense to cut that little section out. If not, I'll leave it in. Oh wait, here we go. Boss hits. All right. So I can cut it to just before where it says boss hits. I can go back and play it through. I'm going to go do that first. So let's head over to this. You can see my words are flowing into each other. So let's head over to the, I think I just got it. And now I'm going to delete that again. Let's head over to the boss hits. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I managed to very cleverly remove the section about the skills, which I didn't mean to talk about. It's just the jump skills was the one that was on automatically. So, I mean, you want to cut out anything that's pretty boring and doesn't make sense for your video. So that's what I did. And playing it through, it looks like it makes sense. And then we've got a bit of a gap. So we want to cut out that gap as well. We're just going to move forward, trim again, right click, ripple delete. What I'm doing is I'm basically proofreading my video and going through and trimming out anything that's not essential. The next one, remember you can press Control and use your mouse wheel and zoom in a little bit. I'm going to trim that out. Trim that out. Delete. I'm making 8, that is 14.93 billion. Billion. I did it again. See, I'm actually showing you that I'm not like, I am just like everybody else. I make my mistakes as well, but I don't leave my mistakes in my video. So we're trying to trim them out. 14.93 billion crowns. And trim again. And basically I'm going to go through this whole video and proofread it and trim out the other stuff. Now the other part that I want to show you is to do with the like and subscribe. I think it's a little bit further along, so I'm going to play through and see where that is. I've gotten a lot better in not saying crap in between my videos. Like I used to say and a lot, but the more confident you get doing your videos and your editing and just recording in general, it's going to get a lot easier. You'll be saying it a lot less. Oh, and a little birdie told me we may need them, but we'll see if we do or not. Do or not. Anyway, if you do enjoy this video, please... Here we go. So this is the point where I'm saying, please like and subscribe. So let's take it back a little bit. Anyway, if you do enjoy this video, please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if you are subscribed, you actually have the bell. Okay, this is important. So let's go back again. If you do enjoy this video, please, at this point, all right, I'm just using my scroll wheel to get to this video 2 point right here. This is where I'm going to put my first effect in. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to use this effect and also where to find it. So I'm going to import it from my downloads. There's all sorts of stuff in there, but this green one right here, these two green ones, I'm going to grab. All right, so the first one is a like button and the second one is a subscribe button, and actually they are green backgrounds. I'm going to drag it above everything else. And you can see I have an arrow going left and right, and I have an arrow going up and down. So I want to play it through so you can see what it looks like first by pressing spacebar. Throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if you... There we go. And because I'm already talking about subscribe at this point, I'm going to drag, oops, make sure that you have this arrow clicked when you do this point, because if you don't and you still have the slice tool, you're going to end up slicing this little edit right here. So make sure you go back up to the little arrow on the editor, and then I'm just going to drag it to about here. I think that will be okay. I'm going to play it back. Please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if you are subscribed, yeah, perfect. Okay, that is good. That's lined up nicely. Please. So I've pressed spacebar again, and what I want to do with this, I click on it once, is I want to take that arrow and I want to drag it down to about here, because I know that in the background I'm talking about here, so I don't want to cover my face with it. There we go. Let's take it back. Please throw a thumbs up on it. Oh, I think I dragged the wrong thing. Okay, if you make a mistake and you drag the wrong thing, easy fix is press Ctrl-Z. And it will reorient everything. We're going to click on this, then the arrow, and drag it down. That's better. Okay, so press Ctrl and Z and it will take you back a step if you make a mistake like I did. I ended up dragging the background down, and that's not what I wanted to do. Please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if... Now you can see the problem is I still have my green screen background. There's two ways you can do this. Please. The best first way to do it is actually in the effects panel, which I'll show you, but also over here in the viewer panel tab at the top right hand side, you'll see we've got a mask tool, elliptical mask, rectangle mask. If we click on the rectangle mask, we can actually drag a box around it, which could work, but the hand gesture of it might actually not come into frame, so let's check. Please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make... That's pretty good. I mean, that's okay. But we're going to take it further and remove the green screen as well from that. And to do that, we want to make sure that we've clicked on this so it's highlighted in the timeline. And then we want to go to the effects button, which is next to your media button. And then you've got a whole bunch of effects there on the left hand side. We're going to scroll down till we find keying, and we're going to open that tab, and a little bit further down we're going to scroll down till we find hue and RGB key, and then we're going to take that effect and we're going to drag it straight over the top of this green screen clip I've got right here. And as you can see, it's starting to remove something, but it's removing the wrong something, because the color is wrong. So over on the Controls tab, you will now want to hit the Hue RGB key and hit the arrow, and down you will see color first. Click on it once, and what you can do is the first time you do this, you'll want to pick screen color to get the exact shade of green that you want to remove, and then come over and click on the green and then click OK, and you'll notice that it's gone completely. The green around the edge is gone. We're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to match colors by RGB, and you can take the tolerance and increase it a tiny bit to make it a little bit more accurate, and then we're going to test it. Enjoy this video, please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if you are subscribed. Perfect. So that is an effect done right there. We're going to repeat the whole process so you can see how it's done again. So we're going to bring it back to about here. We're going to go back to the media tab, and we're going to choose the classic subscribe button, and I'm going to drag it onto the timeline, and I'm going to click on it. Make sure that I have the arrow key on the viewer selected. Then I'm going to slide it down, and then I don't have to do this here, but I can if I want to create a mask. I don't have to though, because I'm going to use the keying effect on it. I'm going to go to the effects tab, go down to keying, down to hue and RGB key. I'm going to drag it over the top. And as you can see, it's inverted, which is definitely not what I wanted because it was red originally. It's going to reset to red every time. I'm going to click on the color, click pick screen color, and click on the green instead, and click OK. There we go. I'm going to switch the hue over to RGB and increase the tolerance a tiny bit, and then bring it back and press play and check them both out. Please throw a thumbs up on it. Don't forget to make sure that if you are subscribed, you actually have the bell icon clicked so you don't miss any more of my updates. Perfect. So that is how to add an overlay effect. You've got to make sure you have a second video layer in the editor timeline on top of your main layers to help you do that. So we've done that. Don't miss any more of my updates. And I've got a little bit more area to trim out here. Remember to press C to change to a cut. Or you can just use the editor timeline right there. And right click and ripple delete object. I love doing this, and I love to read through your comments and give them a heart, especially for Valentine's Day. So we're going to trim a little bit more. Anyway, leave your comments below and let's carry on with this. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm a hacker, by the way. Look at that. Hacker. I've got Angel class to get next. Is there a new class? Okay, now this is when I had to actually go to the actual page of the game and see what the new class names were, because I didn't actually know at this point. I was like, oh, update, gonna jump in before I find out everything, as you do, because it's kind of fun to find out as you go along. So I'm probably going to trim here, and then I'm going to skip forward to where I tell you what the classes are. And it's probably going to sound like there's a lot of dead air in this bit. We're going to cut it out, so let's have a listen. Have to check. Let's see. I'm going to scroll through all the badges. So right now I'm not actually on the screen. I'm actually on another screen looking to see what the new classes are. So if I just press the control button and mouse out a little bit, all the way down, 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 down. The stuff won't be in it to the end. All right, we have two new classes. They are the money. All right, here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, we take it back. Angel class to get next. Is there a new class? We're going to cut that bit out as well. delete, delete. All right, let's take it back. Hacker, by the way, look at that. Hacker, I've got Angel class to get next. All right, we have two new classes. They are the Minotaur and the Cerberus. Here we go. Bit of dead air in between this. We're going to cut that out as well because your time is precious and I don't want you sitting around watching my videos like listening to all the dead air in between. So we're going to cut out all the little non-interesting bits. By the way, I'm not doing a full video edit here. I'm just showing you the effects as I use them. And the next effect I'm going to show you is how to blend audio. So when the track ends, I'm going to add another track. I'm going to show you how to blend the two together. So we're going to get to that point in a minute. Okay, I am now at that point where my audio is about to taper off and end. So you'll hear it disappear. Infinite equipped, but the next one is the recycle DNA. So you never hear this bit that's trailing off in my videos. I do a blend. For the DNA first, so I count the beats out. So we are in the DNA. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on the 9th I stop and I create my trim. Then I go back to my media tab and then I drag the track over to line it up. And then I go back up to the arrow key and then I line up the volume like that. So it's perfect. And I play it through. Infinite equipped, but the next one is, it's close. I mean, it's pretty close as far as audio mixing goes. Like it's not too bad. You can hear the cut a little bit. The next, and it's slightly off, but I mean, that happens from time to time. I can go to my effects tab and scroll all the way down to my audio transitions and I can crossfade the two so they blend together right here. But the next one like that. So the crossfade is just an effect in audio transitions, which I scrolled all the way down on my effects tab to find, and I dragged it over the two joins and it crossfaded the two. The next, it's not too bad, but you know, I'm talking over the top, so you're less likely to notice it with me talking over the top than just hearing it with dead air in front of it. So now I just need to edit this bit out right here and then you shouldn't notice it at all. So we are in the DNA. We have the infinite equipped, but we're going to go back to our trim, press C, scroll, trim. Okay, here's the thing, all right, in this editing software, there's a little bit of an issue between joins of audio on a separate audio track where you will not be able to ripple delete gap. You will be able to remove, but you won't be able to ripple delete over this thing happening right here. So go up to your arrow again and click on this and just drag it till it joins. And then the next time you do a trim, it should all be fine. Clipped. But the next one is the recycle DNA for 258 trillion. You don't even notice it now. It's like completely blended through. You have no idea that I actually put another audio track in there. It's all blended, so it's not a problem. Now when we go to trim this, we can now ripple delete object again and we're good to go. Then we have chocolate DNA for 2.234 QT. And as you can see, like I've been going now for 34 minutes on this tutorial. And granted, I am actually explaining to you how I'm doing this, but usually I work slightly faster than this, but editing is actually quite quick. Like it doesn't take long to do this. It's just repetition and learning everything. The box DNA. But once I've got everything done, I'm going to actually now jump to the end. I've showed you how to blend audio. I've showed you how to overlay a green screen effect. I've showed you how to cut and trim and how to adjust your volume level. I'm going to zoom out now and imagine we're at the end of the video. You can see there's a whole lot of dead air here, which is ridiculous. What it is hatching. Can you see that? It's a whole lot of hatching. So I'm going to show you by trimming this big section of hatching out a couple of tricks. I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit, come over here. So the first thing I want to do is see the green line, that's your audio. So I want to bring the audio volume all the way down because I don't want to hear it. It's just hatching eggs. Okay, I don't want the audio for that. And now I'm going to right click on the top. There we go. I'm going to scroll all the way up to speed duration. Like that. And then you can see that it's 100%. And I'm going to increase it to 600% and click OK. And it's going to make it a lot shorter. So when you go to view it from about this point, there we go. It's just going to speed through all of that hatching so you don't see it. I'll have music underneath it so you don't have to worry about it. But that is hatching pets completely like sped up. And that is how you do that. Then you just ripple, delete, gap and join it up. And you can time it and adjust it. Now let me just press Ctrl-Z to take it back a step. And let's say the music comes to about this point here and stops. So you want to make the length of this. All right, make sure you have the link on. If you don't have this link clicked, what it's going to do is going to speed it up, but it's going to leave the link, it's going to fill out the gap. So part of it will be sped up and then part of it will be continuation of the actual video. So make sure that's clicked so you don't have a big huge like it's really complicated, but basically you want to have this linked. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so let's say your music stops. See where my arrow is right now on the screen. Say your music stops here. Let's just take this track. We'll go cancel. I'm going to do this. So take this track. I'm going to press Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. I'm going to like put it here like that. All right, I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit. All right, so there is music there. We've already reduced the volume of that. And we're going to go forward till we get to the end, to that point there. So what we want to do is speed duration, right? And let's do it like 200%. Okay, so 200% bought it just before the music ended. So it is slightly faster, but not that much faster. All of a sudden we got no picture. We don't want that. So we want to make it longer, like go a little bit longer. So let's bring it back to that point. Right click on speed duration. Oh, why'd the volume come back? Right, speed duration. And we want to make it a little slower so it extends out. So we're going to make it 198%. I made it slightly longer. Speed duration. 196%. Speed duration 194. Perfect. Okay, so where it ends, it's just perfectly lined up with the music. If I ripple delete the gap, and let's say we cut out this bit here, look what happens when we play through that bit. Okay, I'm going to do a quick auto combine, but I don't think I got very lucky. So what happens was the music naturally trailed off in time with me starting to talk again, and the timing of the sped up clip matched the music. So all you have to do is make micro adjustments on the percentage, either positive or negative, in order to get the length that you want to line up with your music. Now I'm going to take it back a whole bunch of steps because obviously that is not what I wanted to do at all. I didn't want that there. I didn't want to do that. And I'm still editing this video to upload it as well. So basically where you can see I have edited on the timeline is where all these little cuts are. So that's how I know where I'm at and where I can continue editing from. Okay, now that that's done, I've showed you how to do transitions with audio, overlays, cutting, speeding up your track of video. So now I've gone through and I've done all that. all it's left to do is, if this was, say, already edited completely and looking like this, all I need to do is go to my export panel right here. So I can click on it and I can export it and label it. But that's only if I have my export settings right. Now up the top you've got your viewer, which we're using to edit with, and our export panel right here. And it shows you the duration, what type of preset I'm using, the progress, and the output. So what I want to do is left click on this little arrow tab and then add to queue, contents. You want to make sure you do it like this. All right, there we go. It has basically done it twice. I'm not saving it, of course. Now down here with the preset, you can choose what preset you want to make it. For me, I choose YouTube 1080p HD, but if you've got higher quality, you can make it bigger, 2160p UHD, ultra high definition. However, that really depends on your monitor and your settings in OBS to record with. For me, I don't have a very good monitor. Both my monitors are pretty crap, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to stick with the 1080p HD, although I do record in 60 FPS, which is the recommended now, or the standard now. But you can also just record the audio. If you just want the audio, you can record in a whole bunch of different formats, Vimeo, Facebook, there's just other ones there, and you can even customize them and create your own profile. For me, it's just 1080p YouTube, and then you can right click on it and you can start exporting. You can also rename it as well. And then once it's completed, you can upload it to YouTube. And that is basically how you edit here in Hitfilm Express. When you start a new file, I'm just going to save this for a second. And I didn't show you at the very beginning when you start a new project. When you start a new project, you'll be given options. So that's where you choose what you actually recorded in. So if it was 1080p full HD at 60 frames per second, you would choose that, which is what I recorded in. The duration you don't have to worry about because you're going to adjust it. You never know at the beginning how long your video is going to be. So leave it on 5 minutes and then you can change the output to match it once you go into the next part. Width 1920 pixels by 1080 unless you're doing the ultra high definition, which is 2160. Frames per second is 60. You shouldn't need to change any of this in square pixels. You shouldn't need to do any of that because it's automatically in that setting. And the audio sample rate is 48,000 Hertz. And don't restore defaults, but you can just click OK and it will create a brand new timeline for you to start with. So everything will be empty. Click on a viewer and you're back to normal again. And that's how you start bringing in and importing, by going to media, import your new files, and you can start all over. So that is how you edit in Hitfilm Express 14. There's some basic things in there. I didn't show you too many effects. I just showed you basic editing and exporting. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to get green screen like and subscribe buttons, you can search for them on YouTube. There's loads of them there. You just need to be able to bring them in, import them, overlay them as I showed you, and you should be good to go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you again next time for Mumazing Gaming. Bye!